Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we're talking about how to predict things in astrology, like how to make predictions and things like that. And I'll be talking about why transits sometimes aren't the best things to use in predictions, and how, you can use a better system for predictions and things like that. So, essentially, I don't tend to use transits because there's this other thing called Mahadashas, which are basically planetary time periods, and I should tell you, like, in individual charts. So in somebody's individual chart, I tend to use transits less. However, if you look at the collective chart, if you look at, what's going on in society in general, that's where the transits will play a bigger role. Now, why is this? Well, because an individual's chart may benefit or go against a transit. So, for example, like if we have Jupiter in Aries right now. Well, if somebody has Saturn or, Mars or Rahu in Aries, then the significance of Jupiter, the beneficence and positivity of Jupiter is reduced. So if they have a lot of like negative planets in a certain house or a certain sign, if a positive planet transits that, it's going to raise the energy a little bit, but not so much. So that's why, So, like, let's say if we had Mars and Saturn in Aries in the 12th house, in the 7th house, and Jupiter transits that, well, Jupiter is, let's say if it's in a woman's chart. So we had Mars and Saturn in Aries in the 7th house with Jupiter transiting. And Jupiter is supposed to be a significator of marriage for a woman, and it's transiting her 7th house. So the obvious prediction there is, you're going to have relationships, you're going to get married or find your husband or something like that. Well, maybe not. I mean, because we have a bunch of other, quote unquote negative planets there. So it kind of dampens the effectiveness of Jupiter. So, you got to really look at these things and see, is Jupiter in a positive, transiting in a positive sign or a negative sign? Is there going to be a beneficial aspect or a negative aspect? That all can be seen in somebody's chart, and if it's more of a negative aspect, then it's nothing special is gonna happen. However, if we have a a positive aspect that, or yeah, so anyway, you get the point there. Essentially, it's transits are more useful in a collective chart. So, for example, the chart of the United States transits would be much more helpful in that case, because you're looking at broader society, and that doesn't necessarily, like, I mean, of course there's planetary time periods and Mahadashas for the United States. That's granted. However, it's more of a, instead of it being like on a personal level, it's on a societal level, which allows us to, fill it in a broader context where it may not be directly affecting our lives, but we can see it affecting other people's. So there's that. It has the power to, change news cycles and, trigger specific events and things like that. So, yeah. So why don't I like using transits in an individual's chart? Well, that's because it's like I told you, it's one half of the story. So while transits are valid and do have a use in astrology, I tend to stray away from them in an individual's chart because it's not it doesn't give us the full picture of what's happening. And I think that from my own personal experience, planetary time periods, Mahadashas, Antardashas, the Dasha system has more of an effect. So if a transit is working with that system, if, let's say, if you're in your Saturn period, or let's say if a woman is in her Jupiter period, okay, and Jupiter transits the 7th house, that's great. That means that she's more than likely going to get married or find a partner or something like that. Like some relationship issue, some relationship thing is going to happen. It's going to trigger something with her relationships. Her, marriage, her intimate partner, her different things like that. So if it works with the Dasha system, then fantastic. I mean, that's what's, that's essentially what you gotta consider. However, I've seen the Dasha system do things in people's lives where there was no transits. There was no transitory help from any planets. However, their Saturn-Jupiter period hit and they became extremely, talented and successful in business. Their business boomed. So, things like that. It's, so, yeah. So, essentially, you gotta look at both. A lot of people don't look at transits, a lot of people, only look at transits, they'll spend all day looking at transits trying to find something that, that helps them, but essentially, or, trying to analyze a chart based on transits and stuff, what's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. So, while transits do have a place in Vedic astrology, they're only half the story. You really got to pay attention to Mahadashas. So, that's my reasoning for that. Anyway, if you guys like this video, if you want me to talk about Mahadashas in another video, then go ahead and please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you can be notified of all future videos that I do. And yeah, so this is me. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and if you're interested in I have a bunch of services to offer you, so if you're interested, Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology is the new book that just came out, and it's all about mantra and how to find things within your birth chart, planetary deities that want to work with you, and things like that. And it's very good book to check out. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my website, gebotheshaman.com. And yeah, I also have astrology certification courses. I have Qigong courses. I have astrology readings that I do for clients. If you want an astrology reading, then you can go to my website and book there. I also offer birth time rectification. So if you don't know what your birth time is to the exact minute, then I would highly recommend that you get a birth time rectification from me. Why is that so important? Because there's some charts in astrology that change every 2 minutes. So if you they change so often that it's just, it's impossible to get the right ascendant or get the right chart if you don't know the exact time of birth. So that's important. Anyway, then I have rune readings, I have career coaching, life coaching, trauma healing course, distance energy healing, all kinds of services and products for you guys to check out. So please go to gebotheshaman.com to support my work, and yeah, we will talk to you next time. Peace.